What up? And welcome to another episode of From the Script to the Screen, My Hero Academia Edition. Episode 14 of Season 7 is out now. So, as always, you guys already know, gotta shout out the creator, Kohei Horikoshi. Shout out to the studio, Bones. Another phenomenal episode. They covered chapters 370 to 373, leaving a couple pages out of 372, but pretty sure they'll start the next episode with that. But action-packed episode like we saw from last week. The heteromorphs from all around the way are trying to storm this hospital because we know this is where Kurogiri is being held, who, like I said before, has a very useful quirk. We know that he'd be able to change the tide of battle quickly because you'd be able to move locations. So we see that the heteromorphs are pretty deep, and again, this has been a lingering dark side of the hero universe, the fact that people whose quirks either misshape their bodies or just change their appearance aren't always well received. And even though now, like we saw during the episode, some people still live in the city, but the people that were raised out in the country, like Shoji, had a different experience. And so what I also loved about this episode was how emotional it was. Again, this is something that's relatable to people all across the world. The fact that the people that don't appeal or fit to the mold of normal society are always pushed away or shunned. And so we know that these people have built up resentment, but the kids are trying to make sure that they, just like Shoji says, aren't people that are just about revenge. And so we know that an eye for an eye will leave a whole world blind. Similar to that thought process, they understand that they've been treated bad, but they want to change things. They know it's not going to change in one generation, like he says, but little by little, we can start making small leaps toward that goal. And so I also love the conflict of emotions that's going on, because even though the mob or protesters are angry, they still understand a little bit of what Shoji's saying. So some of them are having an internal battle themselves, but we do see that there's people egging them on. But we see that Shoji and Anima are still trying their best to try to calm down the mob, which is why I had to wear the Class 1A shirt today, because again, I have to say why I love Class 1A so much. And you see how encouraging they are to one another. When Shoji explains his upbringing and why he is the way he is, you see how the class hears him out and then is able to sympathize with him and encourage him. And it's something that I've always loved about the class. Even though society has pushed them to try to be the best individual, the hero ranking system and things like that, for whatever reason, and it could be the fact that their school year started the way they did and they had to band together anyway, but they've always been about one another. It's never about who's the best, but they know that together they make a great team. So I always love how they're able to come together. And definitely my favorite panel of the week. Shout out to Shoji and Koji. Just like President Mike says, quirks are getting stronger as the kids come along. And it was cool to see the little upgrade in Shoji and Koji's quirk. Koji, like his mother explains, the bigger his horns get, he's able to convey his feelings to animals. And so we see his horns grow bigger. He's mad for Shoji. And Shoji, who's able to bind his arms together, make different forms with his arms, and can increase his power like that. So it was pretty dope. But at the end of the episode, we see that Spinner also has a different type of motivation. We know that just like Shigaraki, he also wants to destroy everything because of his upbringing, and he wants revenge. Combined with the fact that the quirks All For One gave him don't necessarily help his mental, we see that he's kind of having a issue dealing with it, and it's kind of making him lose his train of thought. But we'll see what happens next week. Manga readers, let me know what you guys thought about the adaptation. And as always, let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Till next time. Peace.